Hey YouTube, it's Adam. I wanted to talk about how do you know if you are an artist? And the reason that I'm talking about this today is recently I watched a video about that topic and I was really curious to see what they had to say. It was a group of people talking around the table trying to define it with their own experiences. And some of the things that they had to say I thought were spot on, and other things I thought was a huge miss, and I have a very different perspective on it. So I want to add to the conversation without diminishing what they've contributed. So rather than dwell on kind of what their focuses were on, I will kind of just touch on the things that I've discovered after 45 years of being an artist. So I wrote down a couple notes just to try to keep me on track. The first thing that came up is the topic of an artist that chooses to sell their work or doesn't sell their work, or maybe has a job as an artist or doesn't have a job as an artist. I don't think that is what defines it personally. I think that an artist can fit in all those situations simultaneously. Well, maybe not the same person all at the same time, but I think if you look at all of the artists out there today, you could categorize them into those types of groups, and it doesn't make any of them not artists. So I think that was not true. The second part that I thought was not true was if they're a nice person or if they're arrogant. And I don't think that has anything to do with whether or not they're an artist. I think that has a lot to do with their character. But I don't necessarily believe that being arrogant disqualifies you from it. And I don't think that being nice or humble makes you one. So I think that we can't confuse personality traits with kind of a person's wiring or calling. So other one I didn't really agree with was, are they actively making art, or are they taking a break from making things right now? And I don't think any of those are in themselves an indication if someone's an artist or not. So that didn't really fit very well for me. I think people go through different periods of time. There's no doubt that Van Gogh was an artist, but there's a lot of years that he spent where he really wasn't one. So not in that definition. I believe he was always an artist, but I don't believe that just because he chose to be a pastor for a period of time made him any less of an artist during those years that he was pursuing that. So just as an example. The other part is it all about visual art? Like a person with a beret and a palette and a paintbrush and a mustache? No, not really. I think there's a big umbrella of the arts, which is why the term artist crosses over to music and culinary arts and performing arts and other things too. So I don't think it's just about a visual dimension. So I think that is kind of a shallow of a definition of an artist. What I do think an artist is someone that uses creativity, skill, and expression to create something. For me, I'm a painter. I've also done graphic design work. I cook. I have been involved with acting. Well, I think the only thing I really haven't done is music, but there's lots of the arts under the umbrella that I've participated in for sure. And so I think that when I look at that definition, creativity, skill, and expression to create something, it certainly isn't limited to paintings, right? And I think what an artist does well is that they interpret what their perspective is in the world in a time period, and then communicates that somehow with whatever they are creating. So it's this process of being fascinated by something in the external world, very interested in it, maybe curious about it, maybe frustrated by it, but whatever's happening out here, we're paying attention to that, and it could be associated with positive emotions or possibly even negative ones, but we are creating something from that, influenced by it, and putting that back out into the world in some form of an expression. So there's definitely visual artists and painters and all kinds of visual artists, sculptors, jewelry makers, wood carvers. There's a long list of people in the visual arts. If you happen to be like me, who likes to make paintings or drawings, or maybe it could be computer work, whatever it is, I think one of the questions becomes, what should you create? Or maybe what do you want to create? And I think a lot of that may come down to, what are you trying to get out of this? Like, what is it that causes you to want to take the time to even do any of this, right? And then I think along those lines is there something for you to gain from it? Is there something that you want out of it? Because part of it's the giving process of giving back to the world, and part of it is, what you get from it. And I think both are good. They're both fine. So for me, I think the best way I can start to help you guys answer that question in your own minds and hearts is if I share my story and see if that resonates with whatever you're going through that has caused you to want to watch this video. For me, I feel like I have always been an artist. Some of the very earliest memories I have were making art. Like, it was as normal as breathing. Like, it was just something that I was very interested in, very curious about, had a desire to do it, and I had a desire to improve. I had a desire to share. I had a desire to give it away. But there was like no stopping it. It was something that I was super motivated to want to do. And I remember a friend, when we got into like middle school, high school, he is a gifted drummer. He's an amazing drummer. And pretty sure he still performs today. But this kid, man, he'd be banging on his notebooks and the desk and anything that he could find, right? And some people find that annoying, right? I love it. A little envious of that talent for sure. But what was I doing? Well, what I was doing was I was drawing like Bart Simpson or Chester Cheetah or Mario Brothers or Disney characters or Street Fighter characters on my math homework, on binders, on the whiteboards in the classrooms, on the chalkboards in the classrooms. Like, all through grade school, middle school, high school, it's what I wanted to do. And I really enjoyed the process of it. I loved, even if no one saw the stuff that I made, I think that I probably have a good selection of works nobody has ever seen before. And then others, I would make for friends. I would make Letterman jacket patches. I would make little drawings that people could stuff into their binders. T-shirts, logos, art competitions, murals, T-shirts, literally anything. I liked the process of it. And I think that for me, what inspired me for so many years was I'd go outside and I'd see the beautiful world around me, and the little things like bugs and ants, and I was just constantly paying attention to the visual so much more than the physical sensations or the auditory sensations. Obviously I like to eat, but I didn't think about it the same way maybe a chef might. For me, everything was visual, and I would take my Crayola color crayons, and the more the merrier. You have the big old box with all the different colors in it, and I was drawing underneath our coffee table in the front room, walls, like just everything. Just wanted to put that out there, and then when I saw guys like Bob Ross or Mark Kistler at an early age, and then I saw Disney, and I saw Saturday morning cartoons, G.I. Joe, Voltron, Warner Brothers, like all of it. Even Mary Poppins has the scene where they're Dick Van Dyke's making art, and then they jump into the painting. All those things resonated with me, and I just wanted to emulate it and follow along and learn and get better. And then I had a neighbor that was like a brilliant comic artist, and I have no idea how old this guy was. I don't know if he was a teenager or a young adult. I can't really remember because I was just a kid, but I saw these like fantasy, like Conan the Barbarian type drawings, and the shading, the anatomy, the accuracy of it. I was fascinated by it. And this was like the 5th grade, and so I was trying to make my own characters, vehicles. So I just continued to pursue that, and the truth is, like, I did want other people's approval from it, I guess, to some degree, but I didn't need it, if that makes sense. Like I would have drawn no matter what anybody said or did. Like, it was just something I really wanted to do. So, then you get through school and degrees and all those kinds of things. Well, once you get into adulthood and you have to pay your own bills, you start wondering, like, should I really be doing this? Because you get a lot of discouragement about the economics of the profession, and I had already grown up poor. I didn't want any more poverty. So I was trying to figure out, how do I make my way through in life? And so I spent a lot of time trying to understand how money works and working, and starting at the bottom and working my way up, which I certainly did. But you get to a certain point of that process, and it's always in your heart that maybe someday you'll learn enough, you'll know enough that you can just start pursuing it, and you can hopefully get paid from it. And I think that day can come, and I think it certainly does for many people. And I think there's the opposite thing too, of like people that are willing to sacrifice for a while and just pursue it right out of the gate, and nothing else matters. I think those people have a chance to make it too, from like a financial perspective. But the thing is, like, you don't have to sell your art. You don't have to make money from your art. You can do a million different jobs, and it has nothing to do with whether or not you are really an artist. I think the way you sort of discover it is, number one, you have that passion inside of you that's very normal, and it's always been there. Number two, I think you will find people that affirm it. Because you're making stuff, right? Whether you're dancing or cooking or whatever it is that you're doing, you're taking that expression and you're putting it out there, and people will affirm it. Lots of people will affirm it. It was so obvious to me, the difference between some jobs I've worked that I worked really hard at, and I feel like I did a good job, and my career was progressing. But I didn't have a ton of people affirming that. Instead, if I show up at a fair right now with my paintings, I will have lots of people walk by and tell me how much they like them, right? And so I get such natural affirmation from the world around me with my art in ways I never did at any other job. So I think that's a sign. And then I think the third part of it might be, does the world around you need it, right? The food one, we could argue all day long. Like, I need a big rack of ribs every now and then, like or cake, chocolate cake, so beautiful. Do we need dance? I think so. Do we need music? I definitely think so. Film and all of it. I think all of those things, writing, we need all of that stuff. And I definitely think that the world needs visual arts too, even though it pretends sometimes that it doesn't. It could be in the form of architecture. It could be in the form of sculpture. I mean, there's so many things in life that are enriched because of artists, and I need them, and I think other people do too. And so for my little corner of the art world, my little village that I'm pursuing, I've had people tell me how much my work has meant to them. And so even if it was just one person, I think it's a worthwhile pursuit. The reality is, I think that there are many that I have helped, and I think that there's many more that I have yet to help, but it someday will benefit from me coming out here and doing this. And I think the thing that made me have the confidence to do it a little bit more was I was thinking about the fact that I can't sing at all. Like, I do not like my voice. I barely like making these videos. I do like singing, but I'll only do it in the shower when no one else can hear, right? So, but when I hear someone, like, we went to an Elton John and Billy Joel concert once. We went to a Reba McEntire concert once. We've been to some Christian concerts before. Live music is so amazing. It's so amazing. And if someone has that gift and for whatever reason decided not to use it, decided to hold it back for fear of whatever, we would all miss out on that. And that's so sad to me to even think about, how that would be. It would be a real shame. And then I thought about, if that applies to the musician and the singer, then that also applies to the rest of us. It applies to myself with the work that I like to do. It would be a shame if I never made any of these things, because they bring joy to myself and they bring joy to the people that like them, that have them in their homes and their offices. It'd be a shame if I didn't have these classes where people can learn how to do these things, right? So the world misses out when we don't use our gift, when we know deep down we are an artist, but we're too afraid to put it out there. The world misses out. So for me, what do I want out of this? Well, I invested $80,000 learning how to do a lot of what I know how to do. So I always had a commercial outlook on this. I did want to make money with my art because I wanted to have more of my week focused on the art rather than some other job. So financial stability is a goal of mine with this. But if the honest truth is, if money was the only thing that mattered to me, I may or may not do this. I may just go back to some safe, stable management job where I know what my salary is going to be and my benefit plan, and I would just play it safe. And The truth is, even though poverty still scares me a bit, the truth is, not ever trying and dying with those regrets that I did not put my best work out there scares me even more. And so I've decided internally that the rest of my life is going to have art in it no matter what. Even if I have to do other jobs to pay the bills and feed the family and take care of our pets, to even give to other organizations that need it. I really want art to be part of my entire life, and I don't want to hold back. There's things I want to make. There's things I want to show the world. There's would be really cool would be if I could find out what my potential is, but the only way I'm ever going to do that is to pursue it. I have to put the paintings together. I have to put my ideas onto that surface. I have to embed my ideas in the materials, right? I have to get it out there. And some of the paintings will hold back because I really love them and I don't want to part with them. And others, I'm making them because I want others to enjoy it, and I want them to have this piece of my heart in their lives, in their worlds, reminding them that no matter how hard things get or how dark they feel sometimes, that there's always hope and there's always good things still in existence. And I think we need that more than ever before in this time period. So that's what I want to get out of it. Like I want to spend the time getting my hands dirty with the paint and getting it out there and going through these motions, because I really enjoy the process of it. And I really hope to be commercially successful enough to handle the businesses and to take care of personal needs of my family and my friends. And I hope to be able to give back in a way where I can bless others, to be quite honest, to show that I really do love my neighbors. And that's what's in it for me. So I feel like I've always been an artist, no matter what my title was at the time. I don't think I could ever shut that part of me off. And I think I don't think that could ever change. Until my last breath here on this planet, it's just part of who I am. It's part of it's in my DNA, right? So I think there are lots of people like me out there, no matter what it is that you do. So I want to encourage you to embrace the fact that you are an artist, and all those other criteria don't really matter. You know who you are. And I'm starting to follow more and more artists through Instagram and YouTube, and I hope to get to meet many of you just because I really respect what you do. So that's my contribution to YouTube today. I hope you guys got some benefit from it. This is a brand new channel. I'm trying to grow it. So if you like my video, please like it. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you have comments or questions or anything like that, you want to engage with me, go ahead and put that stuff into the comments down below. And I will see you on the next video.